So when I put the post out about you're never alone and your loved ones are often with you when times are difficult for you, they try even harder to let you know they're with you. I get to see this daily. Hi Cindy, hi Joan, nice to see you all here. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for your love and your support, appreciate it. Look, when I get to read for people, and those in the other world come through, when times are hard, they make it very clear to me, that they know what you're going through. And often on the earth, when we're missing loved ones, maybe we reached out to them quite a lot when they were on the earth. Maybe they supported us when we were having troubles. Maybe you went to them for guidance or answers. When they go to the spirit world, they walk with you. We all get to see when we lose a loved one, how the body dies, the spirit leaves the body, and the spirit is eternal. How does it all work? I get to experience. I don't try and convince people. I really try hard to bring through, evidence, proof, memories for those who come to me in any sitting or session to know that your loved ones are with you. It's a miracle, really, on any given day when we're able to bring through, details from the other world. All mediums work differently through the senses. But honestly, if there's one thing I wanted to get through to people today, watching, joining me, after putting that post out, I can't imagine the grief that a lot of people go through losing a loved one. It's different for everybody. And, does grief ever leave us? Well, I don't think it does. Do we manage it better in time? Some people do. But what I know is that the bonds of love never die. The memories that were shared on the earth, the love that you have in your heart for your loved ones in the other world, they're the eternal bonds that connect us for a lifetime. They're the bonds that I feel we get to connect you to your loved ones in the other world and vice versa on any given day. And when you turn up for a session, your loved ones know you miss them. They miss you. They would love for you to know that they're with you in your everyday life. Just imagine for a moment what it's like for them when they're standing next to you on the earth and they know that you're sad. They know you're missing them. They know you're going through hard times. Just imagine what it's like for a moment for them to be next to you and for them to get a sense that, you're not aware that they are with you. So, think about that for a moment, because they work overtime to prove to each and every one of us. They try and work through signs, they try and work through music. A lot of my friends in America, they talk about pennies from heaven. They try, whether there's feathers, whether there's rainbows, whether a favourite song comes on when you're thinking about them. And all you think about is, oh wow, that was so-and-so's favourite song. Just for a moment think that, you were thinking of them. And they know you're thinking of them. And, we talk about coincidences and how do things happen. I know the other world has a hand in bringing us all together. I know that your loved ones have met up with my loved ones. And, I know that they never stop working to connect each of us. And I'm, really passionate about talking about it because, it's very real for me. I don't question it. I get to experience it, every day. I'm just going to have a little bit of a look and see if there's any comments here. If anybody wants to ask me anything about the spirit world while I'm chatting away. Hey Sandra, nice to see you here. Deb, nice to see you here. Dawn, when you give readings, do you ever get the message from spirit that they miss us? I've had numerous readings and never get that message from my loved ones. I think it's because they are always with us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you ever get messages from the spirit world that they miss us? Well, you know, when I say absolutely, Dawn, it's interesting because it's when you think about us here on the earth and how we have a limited way of thinking and a limited way of understanding things, you know, we can sort of put things in a bit of a box. You know, in the other world, there's no time in the other world. It's limitless. You know, so, you know, their awareness, their way of seeing things, their way of translating things, it's beyond, you know, our limited way of thinking. So, you know, on one level, you know, yeah, you know, do they miss you? I could say on a human level, to put it that way to you, yeah. But when you think that they are with you, the saddest thing is for them that you don't know that they are with you. So I hope that makes sense. You know, they will often come through and have an opportunity through the medium to, you know, say that they were sorry, they wish they had spent more time with us, they wish they had done things different, you know, ask for forgiveness. You know, there's many different things that are communicated on any given day. You know, and they do have that opportunity, you know, spirit through the medium, spirit to those here on the earth to, you know, relay things, memories, or, you know, if they didn't get a chance to say they were sorry, let's just say that the family was having lots of disputes or separated at the time of their passing. You know, there's a multitude of things that come through on any given day. And those in the other world, you know what's important for them to relay through a session. And, you know, time is limited in sessions, but, you know, I get to see just so many things, you know, and it's just hard to put it into words someday. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And maybe what I was thinking and going to say will come back, because I seriously just lost my train of thought. I'm just going to go a little bit back to see if there's any more comments. Deb Libby, I just lost my son. He passed away from, what do I see? Sorry if you can type that again for me. Oh, melanoma cancer. Oh my God, Debbie, like, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm just so sorry for your loss. You know, I couldn't comprehend what it's like, you know, to lose a son, you know, to lose a loved one. And like I said, it's different for all of us. You know, it's just hard trying to understand, you know, why do some people go to the spirit world before others? You know, why do we go through things on the earthly world? You know, it's just really hard to comprehend from a human level sometimes why we go through so many challenges and so many heartbreaks while we're on the earth. Dawn, you understand, it makes sense. You know, Debbie, not to make light of losing a loved one, you know, I've asked many questions to my mentors, to my spirit helpers, to my family in the other world. I've asked many questions. You know, why do parents lose children? You know, why do some stay on the earth for longer than others? You know, why do some people just touch the earth for a short time? And look, it is hard to put it into words, and it's hard to understand it, but each medium has a different path to walk, and we have different ways of offering you know, healing to those on the earth, or through sessions for you to, you know, release some emotions and, you know, for the healing to happen. So, you know, if it's possible that the grief gets lighter, that you are able to know your loved ones are with you. You know, a lot of people will have visitations from those in the other world over time, losing a loved one. And, you know, the thing that I was thinking about before has just come back to me when I lost my train of thought. You know, those in the other world receive healing also when they come through and communicate on a session. You know, a lot of people forget to talk about what happens in their world as well. You know, it's just not the earthly world that receives a healing through sessions. You know, your loved ones receive healings as well. You know, their vibration can change in that world. You know, they can move between the worlds, just like we can move through different challenges, worlds, opportunities, things that we face here on the earth. But you know, some souls come to the earth for a short time. Some souls, I feel, and it's been talked about not just with me but with other mediums and mentors, and it sits well with me. It might not sit well with you people listening, but it really sits well with me that, you know, that some souls touch the earth for a short time. And you know, they can need two families, like an earth family and a spirit family. And it's really hard to comprehend sometimes, you know, obviously how our life changes when we lose a loved one. You know, I see many different scenarios played out for families. You know, and I have other families come to me and say, you know, now what? You know, what would they like us to do for them? You know, their legacy. You know, I've got families come to me that have lost children through many different circumstances. And, you know, some families come to me and ask, you know, so, you know, where do we go from here? And it isn't an easy thing. You know, if I'm able to receive a guidance from the other world, from their loved ones in regards to, you know, how to get through their daily life. You know, some people's children have been sports advocates, you know, and families have set up legacies, you know, in memory of their children. And I mean, I don't say it lightly because, you know, like I said, I can't imagine what it's like losing, you know, a child. I honestly can't. I can't understand what people go through in their daily life. You know, I am aware of grief. I am aware of how grief can, you know, totally encompass our whole being. You know, there's days when there's waves of emotion that'll, you know, flood our being, or wash over us, you know, when we least expect it. Yeah, so Debbie, I don't just want to, you say that you're struggling, and I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, it's hard for me, you know, even talking here today, you know, but no, you know, you've got a picture, you've been looking at your loved one, you know, you're holding something very, very dear, whether it's a photo of him close to you. You know, just know that he is with you. And, you know, our loved ones in the other world don't like to see us struggling. And again, I say that lightly. You know, if you could feel them wipe away your tears, it would be the most beautiful thing for you to get to experience. And I only say that, Debbie, because I can see it from the spirit world. So, you know that you know, he is there. Okay, know that he is wiping away your tears. And, you know, there's many a days when I wake up and wonder, you know, why I do the work that I do, you know, and to know that you've lost a loved one, and for me to be able to bring through some messages, some memories. You know, some days I just wonder, you know, is it enough? You know, did a session help you in some way? And, you know, thankfully I get confirmation from families and people from time to time saying, you know, that it really helped in so many ways, because it isn't easy for me doing what I do either. You know, some days I wonder, you know, whether there's been enough, you know, that has been able to be communicated from the spirit world to those on the earth in sessions. Okay guys, I've been talking very, very fast and time's ticking by, so I'm just going to quickly see if I can read some messages. Christine, good evening. Nice to see you here. Debbie, you say thank you. Say that you're struggling. Robin Lee, say you're sorry, my button just jumped here. Thrilled that I'm catching this. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Kevin, nice to see you here. What's the minimum time between passing away and getting a reading? How do you know that they can accept, they can act, when they can access spirit communication? The soul of the spirit is still new and crossing over. So how do you know when they have strength in them? You know what, Kevin, for me, I've been demonstrating on stage and brought through someone in the other world, and the person in the audience was just at the hospital visiting that person that was alive. And from the time they left the hospital to they turned up to the spirit demonstration, I had brought that person through. You know, there's no time in the other world. I can communicate with those in the other world, you know, instantly, I would say. You know, there's a lot of mediums out there that'll turn it around and say they think that it's a little bit more, you know, can the person on the earth who's missing the loved one, are they ready to accept the messages that are being brought through? So yeah, I hope that helps. For me, there's no time frame. You know, as someone who's been publicly working for, you know, 20 odd years, you know, we can bring through people in a reading that, you know, might not be the person that you're wanting on any given day. You know, there's times that, you know, we might bring through, you know, grandparents, mum, dad, and say you've lost a child, and, you know, you wanted specifically, you know, to connect with that person. I mean, that can happen on any given day. But sometimes, you know, the medium just needs to be prompted that, you know, that the person on the call says, well, you know, I lost my so-and-so, my son, my daughter the other day, or my brother, and, you know, I was hoping they would come through. And, you know, for me, you know, that's enough for me to be able to connect with them. Sometimes it can be, you know, not as strong as the first people coming through to communicate, because a lot of energy is being used. Debbie say, yeah, I have been looking at his photo and kissing him. Absolutely, you're helping me. Thank you. I mean, for me, I see things very clearly, Debbie. And I saw you holding a picture of him close to your heart, and that's why I gave it to you. I feel emotional. I feel like crying. But, you know, when I can see things like that and pass it on to you, you know, you got to know your loved ones are impressing things upon me to relay to you. And they do want you to know, you know, that they are with you. So thank you. Yeah, God bless. Kevin, you say, well, that's impressive. Well, I'd like to think most mediums can communicate with those in the other world straight away. But like I said, we've all got different paths. We've all got different ways of working. You know, people talk about those in the other world, you know, convalescing, you know, spending time close to the earth. People talk about lost souls. You know, it isn't the work that I've come here to do. You know, for me, you know, when people talk about those in the other world staying close to the earth, a dear mentor of mine now in the spirit world, we used to talk about this, and she always used to express that, you know, those that stay close to the earth until their funeral service, you know, that's their heaven. You know, they're not lost, that's their heaven. You know, that's where the love is, that's where the memories are. They want to stay close and watch the family come together and you know, be part of their, you know, their final days of preparation. They want their loved ones on the earth to sense that they're there. Yeah, so I hope that also helps. I'm just trying to scroll, guys, and catch up. Robin, you say coming up 8 years, the 25th of this month, since my mum passed away. I miss her so much each and every day. Yeah, you know, does it ever get easier? I was just sort of given a flower to pass to you, so, you know, maybe that was something that was shared between you and mum, but definitely what I saw was, you know, felt like a flower being passed. Deb is saying thank you. Kevin, if a person who has passed unexpectedly due to an accident or murder, will the spirit of the person have accepted death, or is there a holding period, or can the spirit be in denial? Interesting. Kevin, thanks for joining. I know that you do this work, and great questions. You know, we talk about if a person has passed unexpectedly due to an accident or murder, you know, will the spirit... You know, when we come here to earth, you know, we've all got a day that we're going to go out, a passing day. You know, there's a lot of people and a lot of philosophies about, you know, we choose the life, we choose the way, you know, that we go out. So, you know, on some level, if our life is predestined, predetermined, you know, we know how we are going to leave the earth. I have communicated with people, whether it's been suicide, overdose, you know, we talk about accident. You know, there might be a moment for them when the spirit leaves the body, when, you know, there's sort of that realization, if I can try and put it into words, that hey, you know, I'm somewhere else, or, you know, I've left the body. Yeah, but again, for me, I feel, you know, it can be instantaneously. You know, if the person has passed unexpectedly due to the accident or murder, you know, of the person having accepted, is there any holding period, or can a spirit be in denial? So for me, I've actually had people come to me for sessions where they've been looking for answers. You know, was it an accident? Was it suicide? And, you know, sometimes when people think it's suicide, it can be accidental. You know, it could have been a thought of suicide in a moment, and a dark moment of depression. A client comes to mind many years ago who was travelling and had a lot of tattoos done in Bali, I think. And did he take his life purposely? Was it an accident? I mean, he was in a lot of pain. You know, did he drink too much and take too many pharmaceutical drugs to deal with the pain that he was in that moment? Did he know that he was going to pass? You know, some people wonder, was it suicide? Was it accidental? I mean, he was dealing with pain on the earth and trying to get through that moment on the earth. So that's probably one way that I can explain, you know, sometimes what we talk about, accidents, suicides. Yeah, and I hope that helps. You know, there can be a moment when the spirit leaves the body and all of a sudden it's like, wow, you know, I'm free of pain. You know, everything works again. If I could put it that way, Kevin, and I'm smiling because sometimes when the spirit world comes through and tell us things, you know, it is a bit like that. You know, they are smiling. It is a moment of joy for them, you know, that they're free of pain. Yeah, and sometimes it's really hard to keep a straight face when we are doing the work that we do. Robin, you say thank you. Deb, you say you've really helped me. You're very welcome, Deb. You know, like I said, guys, I do have a spirit message event coming up. The tickets are $25 on November the 19th. You know, not everyone can afford a one-on-one. You know, but the $25, $16 American, you know, it's like a reunion of souls. And, you know, it is an opportunity for a healing, you know, sharing, a coming together of not just souls in the other world, but souls on the earth, you know, that are grieving and lost loved ones. And, you know, for me it is an opportunity, you know, for healing between both worlds. Yeah, and like I said, by doing a group call, you know, it can make it available for people who are in a situation where they can't, you know, afford a one-on-one. Hayley, you say my partner died 2 weeks ago, you know, is he with me? You know, I don't just sort of give information freely, but, you know, if there is something for me to give you, and I'm not making it up, you know, I'll give it to you, you know, just briefly, because today I did come to talk and not deliver messages. But, you know, if there was somebody shaking my head up and down, seriously, it was just about to fall off a minute ago. So I would absolutely say yes to you, Hayley, and I hope you become aware of that yourself. And I want to pass on lots of love from your partner to you. And you know, I do get the thumbs up in regards to my head being shook off as well. So just briefly, a lot of love for you, and I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah, and you know, I know from what I can see and feel when I talk about your loss, it's often, you know, it wasn't meant to be this way. You know, when we're on the earth, we feel it wasn't meant to be this way. You know, we were supposed to be together for longer, and it is hard. It is hard to deal with grief. So again, I'm really sorry for your loss. Please share the video, guys, if you've got friends that have lost loved ones. If you feel that, you know, listening to what I've shared today is a benefit to anybody. You know, I like to try and come live, so, you know, just in case somebody's going through a hard time and they come across a Facebook Live or a video, you know, when they are going through a hard time. I know myself, you know, there's many times that I might be, you know, just scrolling through my phone and I'll listen to a chat. And, you know, when we're in that energy of like-mindedness and sharing and caring, and that pure energy, you know, that love never dies, if that's what the conversation is about, you know, I know that I can have a shift in my energy by listening or watching a replay of a video. So please, you know, share the videos if you know someone's going through a hard time. You know, somebody might not be able to sleep during the night and come across a talk, and you know, for me, you know, the aim is to really help somebody, you know, to help uplift, you know, another soul. That's the true work that I feel we do, that mediums do, is the upliftment of the soul. Caroline, you say you're a blessing for so many, Marilyn. So many need help connecting with loved ones. Thanks, Caroline. I did put out a few posts this week about, you know, losing loved ones, and there was an awful lot of interaction. I'll try and do some more and be a little bit more interactive. Charmaine, nice to see you here. Just open Facebook, and yeah, I'm usually live on a Wednesday, but excuse me, might be a Tuesday for me from now on. I have some other commitments coming up on a Wednesday, so yeah, I'll let you all know, keep you posted. Anybody got maybe one more thing before I go? Look, it's been great chatting with you all, and thank you for your questions. Yeah, it's always nice being here. I will be back next week with Lynn. I just need to double check with Lynn whether it'll be Tuesday. Yeah, lots of love, guys. I do have a Medium Marilyn Whall page. It's a closed group page, and it's a community page if you wanted to join me there. Like I said, it is closed, but you know, you just go to Medium Marilyn Whall page if you want to join the page, and I'll accept you. And I would love for you to ask questions there. You know, I would love for more interaction there. If you know anybody who would like to attend the Spirit Message event, like I said, it's $16 US, 25 Australian dollars. Yeah, it's the last one. It'll be an intimate event. My events are often intimate. I like intimate events, and yeah, there are tickets available on my website. So I am going to say goodbye. I'll just quickly look at the comments just before I go. Deb, you say okay. Caroline, you say thanks. Kevin, thanks for answering. How can we access and hear our loved ones more? What do you find most effective? I'll send you a private message. Deb, you say I'm from Australia. Me too, hun. Why don't you join my Spirit Message event? I'll message you privately whether you feel that you're up to it. You know, because it's quite recent. Let me know. Kevin, I'll private message you, but you know, sitting quietly, turning your attention within, you know, once a week. Hey Minnie, so pleased that I just didn't go a few minutes ago. Happy birthday, I think it was yesterday, hun. Love you heaps. And yeah, how's that gorgeous little soul growing up? Deb, you say thank you. Yes, I will. There's a few tickets being sold, guys, but you know, like I said, my events can often be intimate, you know, whether there's 10, 15 or 20 people on a call. Not everyone gets a direct message, but you do know your loved ones are with you, you know, 100%. At the end of the session, it's an hour and a half, and I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. Lost my train of thought again. Oh, that's right. When you do attend a spirit message event, some people probably decide not to attend because they're scared that, you know, we're going to expose everything about your life. Well, it's not like that. This is a spirit message event, okay? So this is mediumship. This is me communicating with those in the other world, okay? Bringing through, you know, their memories, their love, their messages, you know, their time on the earth, you know, relaying who they're with in the other world. You know, like I say, it's a blessing. So yeah, I would love for the event to fill up, and like I said, you know, they are limited events and intimate events that I do. It's not like there'll be 100 people on the call. So yeah, looking forward to that. And again, I need to go. It's like yuck. It's been great being here, and I would love for you guys to let me know, you know, Lynn know, how we can help you in your everyday life. What is it that you would love for us to bring, you know, weekly? You know, it's only 30 minutes, but, you know, gee, you know, there's a lot of good that can be done in that time. There's a lot of sharing that can be done in that time. So, yeah, lots of love. God bless. It's been great being here, and I look forward to interacting on Facebook or Instagram with each and every one of you. I do check the comments, and I try and answer you know, each comment. Yeah, so may your day be bright, may your night be peaceful, and may you feel, you know, the love of those in the other world with you. Okay, and I really feel inspired from those in the other world to share that with you. God bless, and until we meet again, guys, yeah, lots of love.